Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Yeah, I don't even know what to. It's your thoughts on the Republican debate last night. Where do you start with this show? They're just
what? I'm going to be honest.
Awful.
I didn't watch it. All I saw was the
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Ramaswamy loses it on stage, and Nikki Haley calls him scum. It's a clown show. It's really unfortunate even for them that this is like the second tier. Like, first of all, the first tier shouldn't even be a tier, but this is the second tier of Republican nominees that they're like, God forbid anything happens to the former guy. This is what they're leaning on. They're in a lot of trouble.
Where's that moment? Yeah. 13. Yes, in this case, they were both right. Nikki Haley is right. Ramaswamy is scum. And Ramaswamy was right that they are a party of losers, which he said earlier.
Yeah. Well, I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which was about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy answer.
I love that. I do.
Fight.
I would
all equally
love
awful.
If Nikki Haley had her Will Smith moment and walked up and been like, keep my daughter's name out your mouth. And then just a little like open hand white glove slap.
Or one of those shoes that she uses as a weapon. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah. Or like single white
in the eye.
Yeah, single white female. Put a stiletto through that eye.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you what, I don't like Nikki Haley, but you go after someone's daughter, they're going to turn into a mama bear real quick.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. I love that moment. You told me you did get to say that right to Hillary's face. You just said, tell us again the story.
We were backstage at the national dinner for the Human Rights Campaign, and she was speaking, and it was right after we thought that she was very much going to win that election, we both just had a teary moment. She was on crutches. She had, I think, broken her foot or her ankle. She felt casted, and we had a moment where I was like, I'm mad, and she said, me too.
Yeah,
me too. And then we both kind of got teary, and I was like, okay, keep going.
Carry on. I don't know if you saw her on The View, but I mean, Dana, it's hard not to just go, oh my God. There is literally a clip for everything. She literally has been right about everything and warned about everything. And if you saw her on The View, you can't help but think she'd be in her second term. Roe would still be intact, right? Gay marriage wouldn't be, us looking nervously forward, saying what's next. A million people might be alive that died of COVID. I mean, it's just your mind reels, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. And she would have been one hell of a president, and we know that. There's no doubt in my mind. Probably one of the best that we would have had.
Can I torture you with some more? And also just because she has
been
right
about
I actually
love hearing her voice. The alternative is horrifying, so give me her voice, please.
I think that he'd be even worse now because he was somewhat restrained, believe it or not, in the first term by people who he hired because he thought they would go along with him, and they stood up to him. And so now he is going to, if he were ever near the Oval Office again, find people who have no principles, no conscience, who are totally tied, to his fortunes, literally, and therefore would do whatever he said.
It's too terrifying to even contemplate. One last one.
They didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word. The man means to throw people in jail who disagree with him, shut down legitimate press outlets, do what he can to literally undermine the rule of law and our country's values.
Dana, I have to say, we say it over and over again, though, polls don't vote, people do. And, this week, it was another great victory for Democrats. I just wonder how you're feeling, because I think it's good that we're scared about these polls, because clearly it's helping turnout, right?
So there's two things I'm feeling. One, very happy about the results, obviously, in Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania. All of these moms against whatever lost their school board seats, which is wonderful. This is what I'll say. We cannot take our foot off the gas, because even though people will go out and some of them are one issue voters like abortion, it's been shown in elections that even those people that wanted abortion to stay legal will still vote Republican because either their husbands do or that they feel that they need to. So even though this went very well for us on Tuesday, I think we need to continue to focus and get people out to the polls and make sure that the voter suppression that's happening all over the country is combated, and make sure that we take people with us, because even though they all voted to keep abortion legal in Ohio, that doesn't mean they're going to vote Democrat when it comes to the general election. So we need to be careful.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Ohio, you said I think it's clear Ohio is voting to legalize recreational marijuana so they can deal with Jim Jordan.
And JD Vance. I mean, listen, I would appreciate if they would vote them out, but until then, light them up. Light them up.
It certainly was a victory for diversity. We talked to Carl Frisch earlier, one of the, the first openly gay school board member on his school board. Danica Rome won. We were saying the first African American, I think it's mayor in Philadelphia. I got to check on that one. But, Dana, I think that's the thing that's sort of heartening is, because there's just so much bigotry coming out of the Republican Party. We all wear those shirts, love Trump's hate. And then we go, but does it? And then we have an election night like that where we go, oh, okay, maybe love will win, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think one of my favorite races that they announced was Yusuf. Am I saying his name right? Salam.
Oh, such great of the karma.
I was so happy to see that he won his election. It is such karma. And it's a big FU to the former guy. I mean,
and guess who's going to prison? Guess who's not in prison? And guess who is?
Yeah, absolutely. So those were the things that brought me a lot of joy on Tuesday. Obviously, Danica Rome. Even before that, the first out gay black representative in Mississippi was elected. A few months ago. There's good things happening, and we just have to keep our foot on the gas. We just have to.
Jody has her hand up, which either can be good news or bad news.
Oh, it's confirming. Sherelle Parker made history as Philadelphia elects the first black woman mayor.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Hooray. This was just as I was talking to Dana Goldberg, gay icon. I got this tweet, which is very sweet. Mark said, I want to take a second and say thank you. Your show has brought me and my 15-year-old daughter closer and even allowed her to tell me that she has her first girlfriend. Aww. I told her that in this house, love is love. Keep up the good work. That's going to make me cry. But,
I love supportive parents. I tell you what, I mean, I know you listen and you follow the beans, and when we have submissions from our listeners, there's so many good parents of trans and LGBTQ kids that are so affirming and supportive and amazing, and just knowing they're out there, it really does sort of cover up the noise from the bigotry sometimes, because you get to hear these stories and you're like, all right, the kids are all right. The kids are going to be okay.
Maybe the parents are all right in Mark's case.